On the stage, Chief Executive of Reform UK, Paul Oakden.
Good afternoon, Birmingham. Are there any Reform voters in the house today? I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for Nigel, and he can't hear you. Is anyone in here voting Reform UK on Thursday? Marvellous. Good choice. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome, and what an absolute delight to see thousands of you here in Birmingham. Thank you not just for coming, but for being part of this incredible political movement. This, ladies and gentlemen, is what the future looks like. Our aim is to make Britain great again, and that mission takes a huge leap forward today here in Birmingham. Now, some of you know me. Our members and supporters will have seen me speak at our conferences and have received emails from me. But for those of you that don't, I have the privilege of being the Chief Executive of Reform UK. And before I introduce the rest of the dream team who are speaking today, I'd like to tell you why I do this. Because why I'm here is also why we're gathering so much support from both sides of the political spectrum. Just 4 years ago, a small group of us started a journey. The purpose of that journey was to do something that hadn't been done for decades. To start a political movement that was based not on a single policy or making a career, but on principles and values. We were determined to create a political movement that had the ability to take on a broken political establishment, one that has forgotten that it serves the people. We've worked very hard, many of us, all of us. Momentum has grown and our party has exponentially leapt from strength to strength. And that is because Reform UK is fundamentally based on values and principles, those that are so absent, not just from other parties, but politics in general and the establishment at large. Our values. Our values of freedom, choice and opportunity, which are supported by principles that protect your rights, that believe in a small state, that lets people and families get on with their lives, that help ensure an accountable government which operates truly in the service of the British people instead of controlling or nannying them into a dependency. A sovereign nation which is never overridden by a foreign, globalist or commercial power. And one where the generation of wealth isn't snooped on, impeded or confiscated by the state. We fight for these things so that you can live, so that we can live free, happy, healthy and wealthy lives, which is not a big ask. This is our birthright, this is how it should be. Now, as we all know, the Tories had a huge majority in 2019, largely down to the willingness of Nigel and Richard to put country before party. We collectively gave the Tories one last chance to prove that they could do the job. And not only did they fail, you, me and the country, they did what Tories always do. They secured power and almost instantly chose to forget what they promised to do with the power that you lent them. That, ladies and gentlemen, is called a scam. It's a con. Now more than ever, the con part of Conservatives means more than it ever has. And 5 years on, our country is broken, a shadow of what it should be. And yet they have the nerve to ask for more time. But here's the wonderful thing about the people of our country. They already know and understand that the Tory party can never be allowed that level of power and control ever again. People are now realising that after a century of bouncing between one party to the other, there really is another way. And our job over these last 4 days is to ensure that every voter, particularly in key seats such as Clacton, Boston, Skegness, Ashfield, understand that voting for Labour won't just be more of the same, but will see us slide deeper into the socialist, insidious scope creep of the establishment into all aspects of our lives. We have to ensure that this really is the last we see of the old dying establishment. After being on the receiving end of decades of toxic, targeted takedowns, our political opponents and the legacy media should know that we no longer care about what you write or say or the lies that you peddle. And what is more, ladies and gentlemen, the British people don't care anymore either. Our determination, courage and backbone has been forged in the fires that they created. We are a team, unified by values, so instead of scapegoating and finger-pointing, we forge deeper bonds. Because we're not here for career or power. We're here because we believe in what we say, and instead of giving up and rolling over, we come together and find ever more ingenious ways to overcome. And we have overcome, and we will build, we will grow, and together, my fellow reformers, we will save Britain, and we will make Britain great again. We will. Now our party is blessed with intelligent, dynamic people, with a variety of experiences. But for me, there is one person who has provided a level of counsel and wisdom beyond most. And this person is proof that not all heroes wear capes or lycra, but in fact might come in a different package. One with a stylish bob haircut and a handbag. As our spokesperson for justice and immigration, she's campaigned tirelessly with us before this election and during, from highlighting the corruption and negligence in the child maintenance service, to championing our veterans and fighting for the rule of law and sovereignty over our borders. Anne Widdecombe will never let injustice lie. And that is why Anne is with Reform UK, where she has a political home that will encourage her bringing this to light rather than peddle the problem. She really needs no introduction. She is a political titan, formidable to almost gangster level. She keeps us all in check, is a lady full of heart, but certainly not for turning. She is the one, the only Anne Widdecombe.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Now then, I'm going to ask you a simple question. We're going to win, aren't we? Yeah! That's right. And that sort of level of energy and enthusiasm is what we have got to keep up for the next 4 days. Yeah! Right up until 1 minute to 10 on Thursday. 1 minute past is too late. everybody you see what reform stands for. And we stand for two words above all: common sense. Where is the common sense in the Tories saying that we haven't got enough doctors and then operating a cap on the number of doctors in training and not even raising that cap until they were at the very gates of the general election? Where is the sense in that? Where on earth is the sense in putting all the eggs in the Rwanda basket and never having a plan B while boat after boat arrived on our shores on an almost daily basis? Where was the sense in no plan B? In teaching children that there are 142 genders. Where is the sense of turning our education system into one which teaches children what to think instead of teaching them how to think? The sense in having a system of student debt that is so onerous that 80% of students never repay their debt? Where is the sense in that? And where is the sense, where is the sense in talking about encouraging people into work and then operating the most penal tax system that we have seen this century? Where is the sense in saying that we want to encourage jobs and business and foreign investment in Britain and then running a tax system which drives people to the Irish Republic instead? Where is the sense in that? And that's just the Tories. Where is the sense in having a Prime Minister, as we will in 4 days' time, who doesn't actually know what a woman is? Where is the sense in electing as Prime Minister a man who never has a policy for more than 5 minutes before he changes it? The Lib Dems, water chutes, slides. If that is the future leader of Britain, then all I can say is heaven help us. So, there is but one party, and that party is reform. And we will bring common sense back to Britain. We will bring back a pride in our country. That is what reform will do. So let's look at the doctors. When the Tories say we haven't got enough of them, but don't do anything about it, we will actually say that if they stay in the NHS for 10 years after qualifying, we will remit the whole of their student tuition fees. Because common sense says that if you want to encourage a particular pattern of behaviour, then you produce an incentive to do it, not a disincentive to do it. And we will bring common sense back to our immigration system. We will have not merely a plan A, which is to stop the boats as they enter our waters. But we will have a plan B, because some of those boats will still get through, and we're honest enough to admit it. So what are we going to do? We're going to house all new asylum seekers in secure reception centres, not in hotels. Because where on earth is the sense of housing them in hotels all over the country, from which they are free to come and go at will, and to disappear at the point when they believe their claim is going to be refused? So we will bring common sense to the immigration system. We'll bring common sense to the tax system. We'll make it pay to work, and we'll be certain that we have a £20,000 threshold, and that people... and that people will not be paying tax when all they are earning is a very, very modest income on which they struggle to survive. Now that is common sense. But it won't only be common sense which we bring to this country. And by the way, the first thing that we would do, the very first thing that we would do, that we do not actually need any very complicated parliamentary processes to do, is to get rid of woke. Walked early out of the D-Day celebrations. Maybe if he had stayed, he might have learned that those young men gave their lives in order that we could have freedom, liberty. In order that we may say what we think and not have to censor ourselves because we're afraid of losing jobs or afraid of being reported. A free Britain, a common sense Britain, that is what beckons. And you know, on Thursday, well, it might be just a little bit optimistic to think that we can form the government, but there's no reason why we shouldn't form the opposition. And oh, what an opposition that will be. So I'm very shortly going off to Dover to support our excellent candidate, Howard Cox, and I shall be going there fairly soon. But before that, I just want to say this to you. Thank you for all that you have done, but even more important, Thank you for all you're going to do. Because these next 4 days are crucial. I spent 55 years in the Conservative Party, and I've heard more sense in the last 5 years than I did in all those 55. First from the Brexit Party and now from Reform. And I would just like to pay tribute to the work that has been done in getting us from naught to where we are now. Pay tribute to both Richard Tice and Nigel Farage for making that possible. So remember, over the next 4 days, freedom, common sense, determination, pride in our country. That's what reform is, and that's why we deserve to fill up Westminster.
Ladies and gentlemen, Anne Widdecombe.